Hey, what's up? This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. What we're going to do right now is play our intro video. That way you can like, share, comment, and let everyone know that CSRN is live and streaming. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. Looks like my lighting got us a little bit dark, but oh well, it is what it is. We're working on that. I think we got the sound okay now. It's just that get that lighting together.
Most people are here for our voice anyway.
Okay, yeah, most the ones that's for your voice are. The other ones, I'm apologizing about the lighting. You know, where we are and how the sun hits this room, you know, can create magic or have us look the way that we do. Hey, let's get into some intros. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I am one of the co-founders of CSRN with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. Also, I am a 33-year member of the Nation of Islam right here in Toledo, Ohio. So shout out to Muhammad's Mosque, number 91. We had a dynamite book bag giveaway and a food demonstration on how to cook the foods that you're growing in your garden. So that's what's up. What am I wearing today? I've got on a new hat. Yesterday, Yvette came in and she said, hey, look, I saw this. I wanted to get it for you. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. So I got on my kind of blue and white.
I'm jealous. I wish people would buy me stuff.
Got my brown rim glasses on. I got a T-shirt that says Salah. I saw this on Facebook. Let me see if they could take out that banner right there. Let you see what it says on the front. Trying to figure out how to do that. I'll figure it out one day. Yeah, it says Salah. That's like prayer. Got the brethren or brethren prostration right there. I look like one of those major league baseball or logos. Yeah. So I saw that on Facebook. Hey, I'm gonna get that. I got it without somebody scamming my card or whatever. So, and also got my beads on. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. This is Black August. And for Black August, we're going to be doing our 10-year victory lap today and talking about just what made us who we are and how we were able to stand strong for 10 years, addressing some critical things that most would rather not address. Hey, and we're still here. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to pass it over to Jody to do your intro, and then we'll get into our mission statement and guiding principles, and we'll just keep this going.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasure of this wonderful organization, and I guess one of the creatives and stuff that has continued to create. For those of you out there listening, we thank you for coming back every single week. You know, it may be an arduous task for us on the end of putting all the stuff together and the stuff you don't see behind the scenes, but you choose to be with
right
every single week. You could be any place in the world, but you come back to listen to our podcast or rewatch or maybe do some investigating, because normally we have somebody here in my seat where we interview people every week. That is the goal of this show. But, you know, we have great chemistry, so we can pretty much talk about anything when we don't have guests or unforeseen circumstances. And we would still love to have you on here. And the reason why we describe ourselves, because we know that there are people who, you know, just turn us on to listen for that 1 hour segment that we come on. And we also don't want you distracted, because we know, you know, everybody's kids and chilling went back to school, so we got soccer and after school programs and all that stuff. We don't want you distracted driving, or, you know, maybe miss out. You might be so in tune to our voices, you're like, oh crap, it's 6:30 already. I was supposed to be going to 6,
which has never happened to me. that has never happened. It's all good though.
But for those of you out there listening, I'm a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos, and crystals, and stones, and bones, and artifacts from, you know, being this life, doing this, traveling, meeting people. All the stuff you see that I visibly show people are people I've met, places I've been, things that I've physically done, things that you can't wipe away with digital memory because somebody has a copyright issue or decides to monetize on a word like demure. Brought that up too.
Oh, okay.
But again, we thank you for coming here. We thank you for listening to us. We also thank you for when you acknowledge us in the streets too, because that is the main part of the job. We're not keyboard typing warriors angry about everything in the world. We are actually physically there in the best capacity that we could possibly be, because, you know, you always got to make sure to have your own self-care and not show up at everything so you don't burn yourself out.
That's right.
And that's what we do. I'm also wearing a Momentum shirt, which is actually coming up next month. If you don't know about Toledo, Ohio, we have an awesome arts commission that does a lot of stuff for creatives and artists and programs and the youth to make sure that they are inspired to continue to create, not let AI generate stuff for them so the future continues to get dumber. Anyway, my own bias and stuff like that. And, button up, a hat, see the staff in the background that goes all around the world. How do you get to this point? How do you get comfortable within your organization that you can, as you watch most of our shows, we banter, we joke, we talk, no matter how serious the subject is, because we have a foundation. We have.
Yeah, it's our mission statement, which lets you know who we are and what we're about. And then we have the guiding principles, because having all of these personalities together, it's hard keeping everything stable. So we have our guiding principles that allow us to know when to say when to back up, when to, rebalance.
Yep. So, if you are joining an organization or trying to start a nonprofit, 10 years was never our goal. We actually don't have a goal on how long or what our end period is. In essence, we are alive to work ourselves out of our jobs. The things that we fight for are things we would not like to see our future generations deal with. But unfortunately, somebody eventually has to step up and do something different than what the rest of the status quo is. And that would be us.
That's right.
So this is our mission statement. If you are joining something, make sure they at least have some functional foundation. They're not trying to hold an event to appease a nonprofit or a grant or a contract or something like that. Make sure they got something that is written out that you can read, that you can investigate and do some research, because you don't want to waste years doing something that a part of your life. And then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, bye, y'all.
Bye. That's right.
So we will never say that to our community or the people around us. So here's our mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right. And though that's our mission statement, and a shout out to, since we're doing our 10-year victory lap, our mission statement was created by myself and Sister Yvette Muhammad. This was in the, I think maybe the early winter of 2015 or early or late 2014. We needed something because we had so many people being involved, but we had no mission statement. That meant that at any point we could have been
Save the Dolphins.
Yeah, we could have became anything. Yeah, real spill. At that point, we could have just became anything, and
majority vote and all that stuff. Because
and I remember, because this is some good history. We had an event, and there was a famous Jewish woman that was speaking at the Unity Church that was located at that point. It was on Secor, near Executive Parkway, and she was talking about the state of Israel and what's going on. So a lot of us wanted to go there. All right. I wasn't able to go, so we didn't have a meeting that Tuesday at the library. So I realized, okay, look, when they come back, all right, we're going to have a mission statement and we're going to have it already written out. So instead of having it done by committee and having too many voices, I said, look, let's go ahead and lock this down. In the next meeting, we had a mission statement, and that's how it was born. All right, right there. And next, we needed to have some guiding principles. We didn't have our guiding principles until maybe 2015. That was in September of 2015 in Cleveland, where we heard the guiding principles for the first time, and that was the Movement for Black Lives convening. And we took those guiding principles and we adapted them and made it fit for what we do right here in Toledo. Our guiding principles: all Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter. And are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love. Self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
So we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. It's Black August. We're going to talk about, this is our 10-year victory lap. I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I believe what made us stay here for 10 years, still doing what we did in 2014. Maybe a bit different, but still the same intensity. It's like, in
different areas.
Yeah. And how does that happen? It's purposeful. It just doesn't happen by mistake. So we'll take a short break. We'll come back. This is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober-safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
en esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
United will never be defeated. Come on, we have to. United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Thank you so very much for sharing your opinions today. We thank you for sharing your voice. We do believe in expression.
Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot!
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our voice in Washington. She was first elected to represent the 19th Western District of the state of Ohio in 1982. Taking time out of a busy schedule to share with us this day, please welcome the Honorable.
All right, that is we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, and we stream live from Mott Branch Library. So shout out to Mott Branch Library that always rolls out the red, black, and green carpet each week so that we can come and talk about the things that we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now, which is Black August and our 10-year anniversary victory lap, and some of the things that we got coming up in the future. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today for our 10-year victory lap is some of the things that we've done that established CSRN in the city, and why I believe that we're still relevant today. That video that we showed you, I think it was from 2015. I mean,
2014, 15. It was, in fact, it was the year before we did that.
Right.
That's how it happened.
Okay. All right. So let's just say 2016, in 2000, yeah, from 2013 to maybe 2016, I was a part of the MLK planning committee, and myself and others would meet each year and talk about what we wanted to see out of the Martin Luther King celebration. And one year, I think maybe it was 2012 or
It
2013.
became a police convention.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell my story. All right. Before I say it became a police convention, which it was, all right. But I really wanted to get to that before I said it was a police convention, which it was, all right. But I asked the planning committee maybe in 2012 or 13, hey, listen, let's open up with the Black National Anthem. And before then, it was only the Star Spangled Banner. And the people on the committee looked at me and they were appalled that I would even ask for the Black National Anthem. And we didn't do it. It hadn't been done before I brought that up. So they were like, oh, Brother Washington, we can't do that because that's ours. I'm like, yeah, so what? It's about us. Why not open up? So they asked me to get a couple of students that could sing it. I got them. We got there that morning, Jody, and the person told me that I sent the tape too late or something. And the young people that I brought from Self-Expression Teen Theater, they were just heartbroken because I said, this year we're singing the Black National Anthem. They had somebody else sing it. I think it was William Moore, somebody like that. And I'm like, man, all right. I think that was the beginning of the end. And I'm like, okay, all right, I got y'all. So in the following year, I brought up the idea, hey, look, we need to do better with this Martin Luther King thing because what's happening, Jody, first the police come in and then the fire department and then the University of Toledo, then the city of Toledo, then the Boy Scouts, then the Girl Scouts. I'm like, okay, when do the Black people come in on the MLK?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, look, we really need to look into this. And they're like, well, Brother Washington, my hands are tied. I'm like, all right. So that following year, I think maybe that same year, I'm like, okay, all right. And we decided with the suggestion of that coming from Sister Twyla Page, it was her idea that we disrupted. I thought it was a crazy idea until she finished telling me how we don't need to support it. It's not about us. It's not ours. And from that moment, it clicked in, and that's when we started meeting. And that morning, we were going to march in. Shout out to Amjad Damani. Shout out to everybody that was part of that. Terry Lynn, I think Cherry Forward. Man, it's a lot of people.
Original photo. It's right
a lot of people.
there.
A lot of people. Ronita Noble.
Yep.
All of those people.
There. You can't see it.
Yeah, a lot of those people that were a part of that. And I remember that morning, people started hearing that something was going to happen because Terry Lynn was posting something like get ready or whatever. Yeah. And people were calling me, Brother Washington, I don't think that you need to be doing this. I'm like, man, look, we 5 minutes from going on the stage. And it's my last thing. And while we were sitting down, all of us were wearing black. They had no idea. They were like, okay, so who's walking out first? Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, I'll go ahead and do it. So right when former police chief D. Michael Collins spoke, and then after him was supposed to be Marcy Kaptur, Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur. I'm like,
our initial introduction to
this is I felt that this is the perfect space. So I got up and start walking. I think Amjad was behind me. And I'm like, okay, if I walk and if nobody follow me, it's going to be all bad. But we all went out there. That's something that nobody can take away, that we disrupted the MLK celebration. And shout out to Linda Alvarado, who was a part of the committee, leading that committee. Hey, Linda, you already know what it is. Much love and respect to you, because all she could do was watch us.
Yeah.
All she could do was watch us.
I'm not sure if that's mine, because there were two people on the balcony with me recording. It was, I carry bags and stuff, so it took me a little bit to get in.
All right. Hey, listen, we're doing our 10-year victory lap. Is there something that you've seen us do in CSRN that you believe is what made us have this type of staying power? If so, what would yours be?
I would say our community forums, something we haven't had in a while since the unspeakable virus we don't talk about. But our community forums, because we did everything from the local level and the mayors to the federal level, and including senators. That we had forums on. We did the police chiefs and who wants to be that. It was a collective of something you don't see no more. Doing just actually these public officials and statespeople to come to a we're not nonprofit, but to an organizational group that said, hey, come talk to the community. We'll bring the chairs, the seats, the refreshments.
That's right. That's right.
They showed up. Not only did they show up, well, not all of them sometimes. I don't think we ever got Wade to really come and talk like that.
Wade came for the primary. There was a primary. Wade came for, I think it was for mayor.
Yep.
The first year he came. The second year
he declined.
He declined
politically. There are a few people, not all of them worked out like we would have loved, but they all got to speak to the community and unbiased, not put on by the news, sponsored by this. I gotta read stuff, and some of them were uncomfortable over the years of, well, what's the script? I get people who want to come on the show. What questions there are you? I mean, I don't like scripted stuff, part of being a creative and stuff. But so that for me was also amazing, because here it was again, this normal group of people that said, hey, could you come talk to us and tell us why we should actually vote for you, which again, this is an election year, an actual really big one, not just on the federal level, but the local level, because there's some stuff that I'll be talking about later on the show that I hope we are aware of as Toledoans. But I digress.
All right. Hey, listen, let's take a short break. We're going to come back with especially some of those things that's happening in the city that we really should be paying attention. I know there's a national thing going on, but we got some local stuff that we need to take care of too.
Yep.
Hey, we're going to come right back. I want to play I just saw Keith Cook in the parking lot right before we started streaming, and he leads the Bike Rides Matter.
Yep.
What I'm going to do, we're going to play his clip, then come back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now, we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community, because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just interact with people, especially during COVID. You still have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Hey, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we are having our Black August 10-year victory lap. That's when we're going to talk about some of the things why we believe CSRN has lasted 10 years, and we're going on to year number 11, and we will officially celebrate that 10-year November of this year. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be, and maybe have some special guests on from past organizing that have moved on to do some awesome things. We'll have them drop in and talk about their experience, and hey, we might just keep this thing going. All right. Why is CSRN still here today? We're here because of some of the things that we've done in the past that I believe a lot of people were not willing to do. And I'm going to go back to, 2017 for Black Lives Matter Day, or is that 2015 for Black Lives Matter Day?
Because there were a couple of them. Right?
Yeah, there was
one for the Break the Chains. Because
yeah, that was the first one.
It came the first time.
Yeah. So I'm kind of messed up on my time, but I think it was 15 or 16 for that. No, I'm sorry, 2016, because we were saying, yeah, I need to find out when was that family. 2015 to 2016 was the year that we had our Black Lives Matter days. So what is Black Lives Matter Day? The city of Toledo were allowing the Ku Klux Klan to rally downtown with police protection, the type of protection we did not get in 2020. We got the exact opposite, all right, from the Ku Klux Klan. The exact opposite. I never thought about that. Whatever they gave the Ku Klux Klan, they defunded us, all right?
Basically.
But what we wanted to do is we wanted to have our own day. And shout out to the Frederick Douglass Community Center for allowing us to use their property for Black Lives Matter Day, which was speakers, entertainment, different vendors set up, just a day that we could love ourselves and recognize that we're not a fear-based thing. And also what we wanted to do for that day is make sure that we have some vans set up to go downtown and get our people. They're going to have a rally downtown. Well, let them have the rally by themselves, because all what's going to happen to us is we're going to go to jail. We're going to have to post bail money that we don't have. And it's a trap anyway. It was a trap in 2005 when they allowed them to come on the north side.
Yeah. And
my job then was to go to some of those who were a part of street organizations and let them know that, nope, this is a setup, because the city of Toledo is allowing them to do that. There's little to zero pushback on them marching through the city, through that part of town, knowing that it's going to create a lot of drama. But the city of Toledo, I think at that point it was Jack Ford, Mike Bell as the police chief, and Eugene Sanders as the superintendent. So we had three black men that were in great high positions, and they still allowed that to happen. So Black Lives Matter Day was about, hey, look, we'll just go down, have some vans, channel the energy, and bring our people back. And we were successful with doing that. There was a lot of calls. It seems like whenever we have something like that, I'm going to get some calls from political officials and others to say, hey, look, Brother Washington, I really don't think you guys need to have a Black Lives Matter Day. Can you guys just have an All Lives Matter Day and just have it at, no, we can't do that. There were some calls from the Ku Klux Klan that wanted us to meet them somewhere and have a discussion. I'm like, yeah, right. So there's a lot going on that day, but that was a day that really allowed us to set forth, who we are. Yeah, we're about that work. We're about that action, and we don't need to ask for permission to do good.
Yep.
And Reggie Williams of the Frederick Douglass, he is definitely an ally, definitely an asset, a comrade for allowing us to use that property for that. Hundreds of people came, 0 incidents, loving each other, understanding that we can't ask anybody else to do for us what we could do for ourselves. So those are the two things that I believe that help solidify us to be who we are, and also why we're still here, because to this day, no one else has had another Black Lives Matter Day.
Nope.
To this day,
not no other big organizations or anything like that, let alone political forums or even stuff that are more about the let's go viral.
That's right. That's right. So that's my, what about you? Were there some things that you believe that we've done that really set us apart from everybody else? And I could go on and on with mine, but I just wanted to mention that Black Lives Matter Day.
I guess our community outreach, again, a lot of organizations will have fundraisers. We are, and never will be in treasurer, a fundraiser type organizations. What we do is community outreach and engagement. So we've done awards, scholarships, movie theaters free to the community that now are in this world of nonprofits and again viral is being capitalized on in, I guess, despite of the community itself. We were before the show talking about the national level of things and how before it was like they just trying to give you a yard sign. Now you got to pay $20 for
$20.
Not speaking on which
That's
party
crazy.
or anything, but
that's crazy.
I guess coming up in that this has been our own civil rights Woodstock era type movement, because it's only every couple of decades or something like that where you have that prime time of what will you do when the world is burning and everyone is running away. Start running with signs and water and words of affirmation and positivity and maybe a little anarchy, but that was us. We weren't trying to be viral. We weren't telling you to make sure you share and post this or attempting to find situations aggravated by us that we could fix.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
So the world is a little bit different place. I can't see us saying, hey, tomorrow we got this, or Saturday we got a protest demonstration on the corner, but that still may happen. You never know. It's a crazy place. But that was a lifestyle. That was stuff was going on. People were meeting each other. And it's crazy to think that the small few portion of us are now city officials, running different boards, or doing outreach programs. A lot of us are now at different nonprofits. And then there's some who have kind of fallen off the grid. Because it's kind of like school and stuff.
True that.
Not every student makes it. And through this, it's a little bit of, there are no gold stars at the end. There's a, hey, we can't hire you because
that's right.
That video was in.
That's right. You was with them. It's all good though.
What was this on your resume about justice?
That's right.
So I think that has been a very good influential planning part, because you can't duplicate it. You can't go out and say, hey, I'm going to do this protest in the same way that I did it last year, because you never know who's going to show up.
That's right.
You don't know the variables. Again, we didn't say, oh, we're going to march on this street, even though it has nothing to do with that street. We took stuff straight to the police station. We didn't wait on like, oh, let's debate and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I see us uniquely in other organizations. And one that I always got to shout out that survived through the massive fires is New Era Detroit. I still see them showing up at stores and doing their groundwork with their teams and stuff. I haven't actually gotten a chance to meet them over the years, just through social media, but out of all the things that blew up out of 2020 and people trying to recreate the Black Panther Party, it's done. NAACP, it's done. Like, we were the new era of what has moved into the non-bureaucracy of things.
That's right.
Hope not to look forward to, but if so, to be that Black Panther Party when somebody else decides another uprising is needed against the powers that be. But for right now, I'm just, happy with what we've accomplished over the last decade, because nobody has done it like us.
That's right. And I can't see it being duplicated. And if anything, I hope someone tries to improve on it.
Yeah.
And it's all about being decentralized. That means that there is no corporate CSRN that we got to ask permission to, then wait a few weeks for them to come back and tell us no.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Is it a good idea? Or what time? What do we need? And it's on.
Yeah.
Just like that. And that's how it happens. And look, let's take a short break. We're going to come back and talk about some of the things that you've seen that's happening in Toledo. I've got a couple of articles from the final call that I want to highlight. And then, hey, we'll get right to 5 minutes of heat.
Busy weekend every weekend.
Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back. And we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. And hey, shout out to Ruth Leonard that put that music piece together. I can't remember the local band that created that for us, but Ruth
did. See if they do a copyright.
Yeah, we'll see, because Facebook keep dinging us for something. All right,
man,
they keep dinging us, but
make sure to subscribe to the YouTube. They don't ding us over there.
Oh, that's true. Hey, we're gonna make sure we bring that up. Hey, listen, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live and talk about the things that we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now, and a few things that we got coming up in the future. We're going to talk about that in a second. One of the things that I wanted to highlight is this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. Let's put that up. Oh, I don't think I got the right thing up. Give me 1 second, family. All right. Is that up now? All right. This is the Final Call newspaper. We have a digital edition as well as the paper edition. What I wanted to really highlight for this week is politics and protests. I think that we've seen the Democratic National Convention, even though they had songs going on the inside, they had celebrities singing and doing, what they do. However, outside, it was a totally different thing going on outside regarding Gaza. the genocide that's happening there, and the lack of accountability on the people that we're going to put in the White House to do anything about it.
I heard Planned Parenthood had the abortion bus outside.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah. So as we go through this week's Final Call newspaper, yes, thank you, Jody, for that. All right. I guess all of our followers are gone. This week's, just some of the stories that you're going to find that America is a dishonest broker of peace in the Middle East. I want you to check out that article, and VP Kamala Harris accepting the party's nomination, which was really, you guys gave it to her ahead of time.
When the term started in the beginning 4 years ago.
Come on. All right.
Just waiting.
All right. And also there was demonstrations at the DNC focus on justice for Palestinians. What else is in the Final Call newspaper? Just going through, there's the public health emergency regarding the COVID-19 vaccines, and also how it just came out that Facebook admitted that they were pressured to removing some of the alternative treatments, alternative conversations regarding that. And what else is in there? I wanted to put this issue, the great conspiracy to destroy the black male. If you look at us today, we're just not dysfunctional by accident. There is something actually happening that puts us in a position that we're in right now. And it's going to be up to us to make that change, realize that, hey, we're the number one people against us. And we got to definitely get a clue. Revealing the truth and exposing the synagogue of Satan, just how everything seems just to line up. The small group of people have an inordinate amount of control on so much. That and many other stories you can find in the Final Call newspaper. You either get one from the brothers on the corner, or some of us that are going door to door, but you can log on to digital.finalcall.com and get your digital edition of the Final Call. That really helped a lot during COVID, because during COVID, I think we were off the corners. We stopped printing the Final Call newspaper because that was a kind of a weird time. You didn't want to give anybody a piece of paper, but we were at the store every day exchanging dollar bills.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But hey, it is what it is. So that's what I wanted to highlight this week's edition of the Final Call. Let me put that up there one more time. Let's see. Where did I think I put it somewhere. No, I didn't. Well, anyway, if I come back, I'll put it up, this week's edition of the Final Call. All right. Jody, what are some of the things that you've seen that's happening in the community that you believe that people need to be aware of?
Well, last week every weekend has actually been really, really busy here in the city of Toledo lately with all the stuff going on, not only it being Black August, but it's also the time of year where people's children go to school. So there's been book bags and giveaways galore. I think I've counted no less than 20.
Oh, yeah.
One going on this Thursday as well. Check my page for information on that. But there was also the small business, which I can call it kind of minority health fair that the Netta Carter goes and throws on twice a year. That's been going on long before the word pop-up was even
that is true,
out there. So it's always been small business and stuff like that. So shout out to the Netta. I don't know if we've had her on this year.
Yeah, we haven't had her on this year. She's commented on some of the things that we've talked about.
Yep.
But we need to get her.
But that was a good experience out at Audible Park. Lots of vendors. As I don't want to call myself a vendor or small business, because for those of you that know me, I'm a hobbyist. I create stuff. I don't steal other people's ideas or go on because somebody else has a great business. I drew and I wrote and I talked to people, and then I adapted to what society was dealing with. I didn't react and just say, "Ooh, somebody sells tumblers, I'm gonna do it." So I don't have the different shirt, same shirt, different logo type mentality, but that is always a good thing to do if you're getting into business. But for me, that was a nice event. There were food trucks out there. Shout out to Poppy's Tacos. It was hamburger truck and hot dog. I can't remember the names of them, but it was like 30 or 40 vendors. I saw Shaheem,
the bracelets.
Yeah, who does that and stuff. He's been at a few of the events I've seen. The Glass City River Walk. We had the Jazz Festival and then a couple other events that I've attended and stuff. So shout out to all the vendors that showed up. Shout out to all the attendees because there was a lot there. I know Maycomber had like a reunion or something the other day, but that day there was also a baseball game. And again, as the season's winding down, for those of you that don't know much about Toledo, we have a minor league team here called the Mud Hens. And during baseball season, they do get very busy and everything like that, especially downtown. There was the TLC concert.
Oh, yeah.
That, happened. I don't know if you were able to attend it. I wasn't. I was doing laundry that day because, self-care.
Okay,
make sure
all
all
right.
the stuff is good. I've been to so many concerts this year and been a part of them that it was like, oh, that is awesome. I heard City gave like half the park away for free. Get them photos, make sure. But shout out to the Park Jam because,
That's
we
right.
charged everybody.
That's right.
But yeah, TLC came and whatever the world thinks, because I've seen it on TMZ or something the other day, Toledo is not the reason for any of that.
That's right.
As most of us fans or people that follow or did follow them knows that she has IBS, lupus, a whole bunch of other stuff. So I feel completely disrespected by every time they mention it. They also mention she just left Toledo. Like we literally did something to that wonderful creative artist right there. But let me go on and see what I did get invited to that unfortunately I wasn't able to make. That did happen in our wonderful city of the mud. There was the grand opening Sunday, August 25th of the Truth Art Gallery, which has been relocated, I believe, 2 years or a year now from where it used to sit on Adams to Bancroft and Franklin, across from the plaza where the new YMCA is being built. So if you were able to make it out there, I heard they have artists and artwork and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And there was, let's see, well, not much else that went on in between that I was aware of. But again, I know there was concerts, there was book bag giveaways, there was also several other vendor events around the town. So everybody that did come out and was able to come out, we appreciate y'all as entrepreneurs, business owners, and stuff like that, because it means a lot, especially locally, when you choose not to go to Amazon or some other random website to continually take your dollars and your income out of the city to places that will never, ever care about you.
That's right.
Will never, ever care about that pothole down the street that you would love fixed, but the city supposedly doesn't have the money until they get another grant.
Or another tank. Yeah.
That was averted. I think we did talk about that last week.
That's right.
With a 7-5 vote. Very slim numbers again. As we are approaching November as we are approaching November, I hope everybody is doing their research. Me personally, yes, I am an elected Democrat and stuff, but also no, I do not co-sign to any rhetoric of who's better and who's not, because I've done my research on both candidates. I'm not going to persuade you on who you should vote for, but I will persuade you on using your right to vote. Being in politics for so long, I know it seems sucky. I know that we are always asking for minority and melanated and all that stuff, healthcare, community and stuff, and they give it to Israel or another minority that they feel is within that spectrum that doesn't reflect the look of us. But if we do not keep showing up to the polls, if we do not keep saying that this is really the only voice you got, they will continue to kick us out of our houses, raise our incomes, make sure that our places are not beneficial to the community that it looks like.
That's right.
So
okay.
That's my small PSA.
All right. Tell us how you really feel. All right.
On that, I also want to heavily, and I'll probably do this until the election, which may get me some strange looks at my events, but I'm John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith or Kevin Bacon, so you're going to see me regardless. We, as Toledoans, will not have a mayor after this election if nobody has spoken up, because our current mayor, Wade Cabbage, who's done an awesome job with the city. I do not discredit him in that matter at all, but his 2 terms are up. Legally, by the city charter, which was not changed, he cannot run again. And I am very baffled by the fact that I do not see signs or a plan or anything for our beautiful city of Toledo of what we are going to do without a mayor, since that does control police chief, fire chief, a few other subsidiaries in the city. I don't know the legal ramifications of that, but please do your research, because if you see it pop up on the ballot with his name, you might be committing an illegal action.
All right. You know what? There's you know who we need, who would know?
Danny?
No, I was going to ask about Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany Moore would be great to bring in to possibly discuss this.
Yeah.
Or even Daniel Ortiz. I know he used to have a segment on the show.
Oh, yeah. That's if anybody would know, Daniel Ortiz. Well, yeah.
But
Ortiz.
If you are right, and you are more educated on this matter to us, and you would love to come in to have 10, 15 minutes
educate us, all right,
tell us more ins and outs of the voting process, especially here locally. I know the Sherrod and the Marcy's and all that stuff is being pumped up and put out, but what about locally? City council and all that stuff is,
that's right.
You know, all that's about to happen, and it will affect you. What happens with the bomb throwers at the top most likely won't. Maybe trickle down effect. You get $1 taken away from you at the end of the year,
or $2.
And I double up on you.
That's right. Yes, sir.
People that are
that's
gonna
right, man. Come on.
Decide if your block gets fixed. Decide if your community gets if they're gonna go actually fight for you to get this subsidy or stuff like that for your roofs are gonna be here. So
right.
I hope you get to know them.
All right. Hey, we had mentioned Donetta Carter earlier, and this is just a flyer of her event last Saturday at the Liz Pearson shelter. I had also texted her while you were talking, so she responded. So I'm kind of name dropping right now. You know, Donetta Carter, responded to my text. We love her. We appreciate everything that she does. She was doing pop-up before it was called pop-up. Or I don't know if we need to call her the pop-up queen.
The social butterfly.
Oh, yeah. That's who she is. All right. She's the social butterfly. I've never seen anyone do it better, network better, connect better. And I take a lot of cues from her. And also another shout out to CSRN at the R&B Park Gym. We were one of the sponsors, and you saw our name on the big screen. And that's the first time that we've ever had our name on a big screen like that.
Yeah, true. And is an primarily activist organization, not a co-partner, nonprofit. We do nice things for the community.
No.
Hand out pens and spray bottles.
No. We put the work in. We were what they say. I don't want to say mess around and find out.
That is our definition, though.
That's us. And and I was really proud that you sought that out, because were it not for you and your involvement, that would have went under my radar and a few other people's radar. So because of you, and the stick is right there, which kind of lets us know. I really ain't got to say all this because you put the stick there just to let people know who that was. Hey, what I want to do right now, I'm going to run down for the people that like what we do, how do they contact us? And then we're going to get into 5 minutes of heat.
Yep. Well, I guess one last thing I got to mention, because that was the past stuff. Did you attend anything last week?
Last week, I think my primary thing this week, and I think last week we did the book bag giveaway. This week we were back out in the streets with the FOI, with the Final Call newspaper. Where were we this week? I think we were at the Port Lawrence and at the corners of Bancroft and Detroit. So look to see more of us brothers I may not have a suit because I get hot. All right, so I may have just a dress shirt on bow tie.
Heat advisory.
Yeah,
for the last couple of days here. The last few days of summer reminded us I'm about to go.
But come and pick up that Final Call newspaper. This week's edition is politics and protest. All right, this week's edition, Politics and Protest. We got a picture of Kamala Harris, VP Kamala Harris at the top, and the protest, Palestinian protest at the bottom. Family, we need to wake up and take notice. There's some things happening that we have to address nationally and make sure that we address our local stuff first. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. Also, shout out to the Slang Gang 2nd annual meet and greet from August 30th to September 1st at Lifehouse Burgers and Billiards. Shout out to Lightning Rod. He's actually going to be one of the crucial members of doing the 3rd annual domestic violence, Stop the Violence bike ride that we're having here at the Frederick Douglass Center. So shout out to him. It's their 2nd annual meet and greet. And there is a back to school grown-up book fair. I'm not exactly sure what that entitles, but it's going to be over at Ernest Brew Works downtown Thursday at 5 o'clock. And also, last thing, shout out to Arnie's for being at hosting an open mic that's going on every single week. I can kind of about 95% confirm from when I left last night that we will be having an open mic on Labor Day. Shout out to Ra Sunkist on social media. If you find her there, make sure you shop with her. If you need your hair done, locks, stuff like that, she's available for that. But she's the host every single Monday. So I hope to see people out there. I'll be there myself since I will be in Toledo for the first time in 4 years because, circumstances didn't work out for me to make it to Chicago. Hopefully they mail my trophies.
That's right.
Expeditiously if I got the voice for it and everything like that. And that is next week.
All right. For anybody that wants to support us and follow us, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, listen to us on Spotify, watch us on YouTube, or follow some of our tweets on X. I think they still call them tweets, but follow our tweets on X. If you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App. That's the cash tag 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. And we're looking to get at least 100,000 subscribers for our YouTube channel. That's just a screenshot maybe a few years ago. So we didn't have that many subscribers then. So we're trying to get at least 100,000, get that plaque, that YouTube plaque in the mail. Comment, subscribe, like, share. And also, if you're looking to get some more of the Black Lives Matter signs, we have those still in stock. And we have just a few defund the police signs, defund Toledo police is being more specific, all right, because we're here. Outside of that, I think that's all I have for today. One of the things that we do before we close out in a unique way, regardless if we were meeting in person, but since we're meeting with you via this podcast, we have something called 5 minutes of heat. So what's 5 minutes of heat? It's our way of closing out a meeting where we just don't close it out with hitting the gavel or saying, all right, you guys, we're done. No, we close out with creative expression. And for the past 10 years, Jody has been the resident 5 minutes of heat person. And we got that term from the Houdini song, 5 Minutes of Funk. We just swapped out funk with heat, which is still the one and the same. So for 5 minutes of heat today, what do you got for us today?
So as I'm kind of in training the Arts Commission this year, if you have not heard, you are a poet and all that stuff, they are doing what is known in the industry as a half a stack poetry challenge. Slams, 3 minutes. Shout out to Joni, who came week before last to inform us at the Arnie's open mic night on the patio that first place is 500, and then it's like 3 and 2 for second and third. But I look forward to possibly competing. I'm not sure. I haven't slammed or anything since 2021. Left out as a champion, but half a stack could help.
Absolutely.
Coming back to see. So I'm also, just in case anybody does come into the open mics, I'm also scanning talent myself to see like how much I got to give. So I'm putting myself into training again, because lately I've been doing shows and stuff.
Okay.
Just the stuff that I pre-trained for. So it's now that muscle reflex of get on stage, light the mic on fire, walk off, hug a couple people. But now, so I'm take myself back to 2019, like last night's show, and this is one of the pieces I didn't get to do. This was the second to last of what was Spoken Truth, my stage performance and perfecting that craft of everything. Now I just come out as Jody, which is still awkward to hear, but yeah, that I am Jody. Spoken Truth is the form of art that you feel as I vibrate through you when I'm on stage. So this is Tears of Stone. I am going to try and kind of partially read, since I've performed this so many times, but yeah, that's the piece we're going to hear today is Tears of Stone.
Let's go.
Which also, shout out to Ruth again, because that is one of the pieces that was part of the Black Men Unfiltered film.
Okay.
Hopefully, when we connect and stuff and get that on its own indie tour circuit and all edited and finalized way. It was awesome to have library premiere here and Frederick Douglass and stuff like that over the years. But other than that, let's begin. Peace. Tears of Stone. I can't cry. Yes, I can't cry. I don't have time to linger in one emotion for too long. Happy, sad, upset, reminiscent, or just pure tears of joy. There are so many moving parts, and I fear if I sink too much emotion into one thing, yes, one thing, I'll become lost. So many people depend on me to be this statuesque figure, burned into the minds of everyone I meet. To be that thing, that substance, that inspiration that might be growth inside of them. So I cry inside. Yes, I cry inside, filling up wells of bottomless remorse for people who tried to hang on too long. It's not you. No, it's not you. It's me. See, I never learned how to attach. I've always been bounced from one situation to another before my synapses, yes, my synapses could fully adapt to the environment and take heed that they were real. So I smile. Yes, I smile. Because in that crooked grin, I give you every emotion I wish I could say out loud. My fear, my pain, my joy, my love, my loss, and every emotion that's encapsulated the growth of me in those few pearly whites. So I don't cry in front of people. Yes, I don't cry in front of people. But if you saw my tears, yes, if you saw my tears, you are blessed and cursed. Because those few precious moments of vulnerable insecurity are something I don't show the world. That is the ultimate trust I could give anyone. Not laughs, jokes, stoic nature, or the ability to connect with you on a deeper level in just a few moments. The liquid, yes, the liquid that drips from my face. When the wells, yes, the wells overflow. And I just need a moment in peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. All right, Jody, when was that poem?
2019.
2019.
Yeah, that was the piece right before Childhood Trauma series began. Reading that again reminds me of people still come up to me or air traffic running in front of buses like, hey, great job.
All right, that's what's up. Hey, listen, fam, we are going to, hopefully we'll be back next week. Yes, I'm positive that we will.
Same bad time, same bad station.
And as always, all lives can't matter until what? Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Justice or else.
Yeah.
Peace.